All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome into Jammin' Sports on this Wednesday, where we have a doubleheader for you today. We'll kick things off with the Patriots and the Vikings. That'll be the first half of our doubleheader. And then we'll head to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City for the second game of our doubleheader, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. In this first game, the Patriots and the Vikings, it's a big game for the Vikings because the Packers lost on Monday. They lost to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys beat them pretty handily, and that puts the Packers now at 6-5. The Vikings are 5-5, just one game back in the NFC Central Division. So a Vikings win today, and they would be tied with Green Bay atop the NFC Central Division. For the New England Patriots, they're just battling to stay relevant in the AFC, as they are 4-6, and they are currently in last place in the AFC East. We'll talk more about the Texans and the Chiefs when we get there next game. Let's look at the standings. Evil Dead is 76-59. He's 17 games over 500. TMG is 3-4. You have a chance to be over 500 as TMG week comes to a close today. There, TMG. And Grando has given me his picks today. He is taking the Patriots and the Chiefs, I believe he said. Yep. So we'll see what happens there. If you're watching on YouTube, please follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let's head out to U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota for this one. It'll be the Patriots and the Vikings here at Jammin' Sports. Live at U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the Patriots and the Vikings. And welcome into another NFL broadcast here at Jammin' Sports. Great to have you along. The 4-6 Patriots, the 5-5 Vikings. Vikings trying to move into a tie with the Packers for first place in the NFC Central if they win today. Yep, these are great uniforms. Both teams. There's the kickoff. The Vikings will get it first. About a yard deep, Sammy White brings it out over the 20, 25, and White still struggling out to the 31-yard line, and that's where Minnesota will take over 1st and 10. Sammy White, the rookie out of Kentucky. Starting quarterback for Minnesota in his 4th year out of Michigan, Jay Foster. He led the Vikings to the NFC Central title in his 2nd season. They missed the playoffs last season. Trying to get them back there this season. And as I said before, they can tie the Packers for first place with a win here today. Vikings come out at their own 31. Vikings in the offset eye. Foster under center. Foster hands off to Maffa. And Phil Maffa, the rookie out of Clemson, out to the 41-yard line, a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and inches. From college football 25, Phil Maffa, the rookie out of Clemson, a 9-yard gain on the tackle, number 22, Mario Reese, 8th-year safety out of Oklahoma. It'll be 2nd and inches from the 41-yard line. Excuse me. as the Vikings come out in the I. Foster hands off to Moffa again, picks up the first down, a gain of a yard out to the 42-yard line. Reed Conley on the tackle, the 13th year defensive back out of Rutgers. And that'll be a Minnesota first down. Jimmy Jam with TMG here tonight. Evil Dead's got pinball. It's his Wednesday night pinball night. First and 10 from the 42, 4 wide. Foster in the gun. Foster drops back. Foster throws, caught by James, and Rondé James across midfield to the Patriot 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11. First down, Vikings. In his third year out of Arizona, Rondé James. And the Vikings are on the move. Minnesota knows what's at stake here. They can tie the Packers. The thing is, I think Green Bay and Minnesota have played each other twice already. And I think the Packers won both games. Let me go take a look to verify that. Looking through the schedule as we go. On first and 10 for the 47-yard line, Foster to Moffa again. And Moffa down to the 45, a gain of 2 yards. Let's take a look at the Vikings offense. Up front, Beasley, Blanchard, Valentine, Brocious, and Rolla. And then it's James, Phillips, Moffa, Underwood, and Mills. Still looking at the schedule here. I know they played once. They may not have played twice. Let's see. All right, they played in Week 7 in Minnesota. The Vikings won it 27-24 in overtime. On 2nd and 8, Foster to Moffa inside the 40, and Moffa down to the 38-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd and 1. All right. And let's look at the rest of the schedule. Maybe they haven't played twice. Looking at Week 9. And then this is Week 10 was last week. 3rd and 1 for the Vikings now. At the Patriot 38-yard line. Foster to Phillips. And Phillips to the 35. And that'll be a gain of 3 and a Viking first down. That'll move the chains. Yep. Oh, Minnesota won both games against the Packers. They played in Week 10 last week. I forgot about that. And Minnesota won 20-17. So if the Vikings win this game, not only are they tied with Green Bay, but they have the tiebreaker since they swept the Packers. First and 10 from the 35. Foster under center. Foster, play action. Foster throws. Caught by Mills. And John Mills down to the 20-yard line, a gain of 15. The third-year receiver out of UNLV. Nice opening drive by Minnesota. Just methodically moving it down the field. On the tackle, number 26, Reed Conley. Evil Dead's got the Vikings in this one, yep. As I was stating before, Evil Dead, Minnesota has beaten Green Bay twice. So if they tie the Packers with a win tonight, the tiebreaker goes to the Vikings. They'd be in first place. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Foster to Stanley this time. And Stanley turns outside, inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. A gain of 13. Marlon Stanley, the 5th-year running back out of Georgia. First down, Vikings. TMG is back. You missed a couple of plays. The Vikings are still driving. So a lot at stake here for the Vikings. They would be tied for first and would have the tiebreaker over the Packers. First and goal from the 7-yard line. Jay Foster, the quarterback, under center. Foster to Moffa, and Phil Moffa driving forward down to the 4-yard line, a gain of 3. Let's take a look at the Patriot defense. Yeah. They play a 3-4. Pendleton, Riggs, and Martin up front. Linebackers, Willis, Turner, Littleton, and Babcock. And the secondary, Conley, Chadwick, Reese, and Rook. Yeah, college football 25, those sims go by quick. You get an entire game in about an hour. With Madden 19, it takes about a minute 20 to a minute 30, sometimes longer. Second and goal from the 4. Foster throws, caught by Maddox, touchdown, Vikings. John Maddox, the rookie out of Michigan, the tight end. A 4-yard touchdown catch. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff, march down the field, and get the touchdown. And they take a 6-0 lead. And to be honest with you, they made it look easy. The Patriot defense didn't put up much resistance on that drive. And now Randy Lloyd for the extra point. Kick is up. And it's good. And the Vikings lead it 7-0. 3:36 left to play here in the first quarter. Live from US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Week 11 here at Jammin' Sports. Actually, yeah, week 11. That whole drive, there was no incompletions, no sacks for the Vikings on that drive. No plays for negative yardage on that drive. Beautiful drive by Minnesota. And they go up 7-0. Vikings got off to a slow start this season. However, they have a chance now to take over first place in the NFC Central if they win today. Randy Lloyd will kick off. A yard deep, Steve Bray brings it out over the 20, and Bray out to the 23-yard line in his third year out of Stephen F. Austin, the wide receiver. And now the Patriots offense will come out, led by their rookie quarterback, Peyton Thorne, out of Auburn. Patriots are 4-6. They are currently in last place in the AFC East. Trying to stay in the playoff race in the AFC, but they've got to win. Basically, for New England, if they're going to have any shot, they need to win out. At least finish 9-7. They might have a shot. 1st and 10 Patriots. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne hands off to Dickens, and Chris Dickens out to the 27-yard line, a gain of 4 yards. Let's take a look at the Patriot offense. Up front, Charles Brewster, Jones, Wallace, and Peterson. And then it's Brandon Holmes, Dickens, Payne, and Woods. It'll be 2nd and 5 for New England at their own 27-yard line. Vikings scored on their opening drive. And now this is New England's opening drive. 2nd and 5 from their own 27. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne throws outside, caught by Dickens, turns upfield, out to the 38, a gain of 11. And that'll be a first down for New England. Chris Dickens in his 9th year out of Dayton University in Ohio. Under 3 minutes left in the first quarter, Vikings up 7-0. As we watch the replay, we're still in the early afternoon games of Week 11. The next game, Texans-Chiefs, will be the final early afternoon game. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Thorne under center. Thorne to Dickens, and Dickens making his way out to the 42-yard line, a gain of 4 yards. Let's take a look at the Vikings defense. Minnesota plays a 4-3. Callaway, Mason, Hayes, and Doris up front. Linebackers, St. Paul, Martin, and Florence. And the secondary, Bell, Monroe, Burnside, and Woodson. Andy Doris made the tackle on the previous play for Minnesota. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Patriots at their own 42. 2:25 and counting here in the first quarter. Thorne under center. Thorne hands off to Dickens, a draw play, and Dickens gets out to the 49-yard line, a gain of 7. And that'll be another Patriot first down. So Minnesota had a nice drive. And now New England has a pretty good drive going. Stan King, the fourth-year linebacker out of Tennessee, on the tackle for Minnesota. Under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. From their own 49, 1st and 10. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne to Holmes. And Holmes gets back to the line of scrimmage. James Holmes, the rookie out of Akron. Andy Doris on the tackle. Doris in his 12th year out of Wisconsin, the defensive end. 2nd and 10 for the Patriots at their own 49. New England comes out 4 wide. Thorne under center. Thorne, a draw play to Holmes. And Holmes picks up 2 yards to the Viking 49-yard line. Zach Martin on the tackle, the 7th-year linebacker out of Tennessee. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 8 from the Viking 49-yard line. Patriots come out. Thorne in the shotgun, a back on either side. Thorne back. Thorne in trouble and gets sacked back at the 45-yard line by Zach Martin. A loss of 6. And that'll bring up 4th and 14. Huge play by the Viking defense and Zach Martin, the all-pro linebacker. A delayed blitz, and it paid off. Waited for the defensive line to make a hole, and he just came up the middle. Frederick Strong into punt for New England on 4th and 14. Strong gets the punt away. He shanked that one off the side of his foot, out of bounds at the 28. A 27-yard punt. Not the best, but better than nothing. And now it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 28 with 31 seconds left here in the first quarter, up 7-0. Jimmy Jam with TMG. Evil Dead is popping in and out. He's got pinball tonight. On 1st and 10. 4 wide for the Vikings. Foster in the shotgun. Yeah, it was a weak punt. And now they shift. Foster under center. Foster hands off to Maffa. Up the middle, and Maffa out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 10. Pat Chadwick, the safety, makes the tackle in his 14th year out of Oregon. But that's a Minnesota first down. You got to love both teams' uniforms in this one. I used the throwbacks all season. I don't like changing up uniforms every week. I decide what uniform I'm going to put them in, and I use that uniform the entire season. 1st and 10. Last play of the quarter. Maffa up the middle. And Maffa 2 yards. And at the end of 1, Vikings up 7-0 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We start the second quarter. The Vikings lead the Patriots 7-0. And the Vikings have the ball, 2nd and 9, at their own 40-yard line. A Minnesota win, and they take over first place in the NFC Central. They would have the tiebreaker over the Packers. Packers lost at home to Dallas Monday night. That opened the door for Minnesota. On 2nd and 9, in the I formation. Foster to Maffa again, and Phil Maffa picks up 3 yards out to the 43-yard line. Pat Chadwick, the safety, came up and made the tackle again for the Patriots. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6. I would put them in red pants if I had available in Madden 19, but they're not. 3rd and 6 from the 43-yard line. I agree with you. I love those red pants. On 3rd down, Foster fakes the handoff. Foster throws. Caught by Mills. And John Mills down to the 41-yard line. A gain of 17 into Patriot territory. And that'll be a Minnesota first down. The third-year receiver out of UNLV. Coming up to make the tackle is Reed Conley, the defensive back. First and 10. In the I formation, Foster under center. Foster to Maffa, and this time Maffa is going to lose a yard back to the 42, a loss of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12. Making the tackle there for the Patriots, Arthur Randall, the second-year defensive back out of South Carolina. If the red pants were available for the Patriots in Madden 19, I'd be using them. But they're not. So I have to go with the next best thing. But these unis aren't bad. 2nd and 12 from the 42-yard line. 4 wide. Foster under center. Foster hands off to Maffa around the outside, and Phil Maffa makes his way to the 40, gets the 2 yards back before Randall makes the tackle again for New England, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Vikings at the Patriot 40-yard line. Third and 10. 4 wide. Foster in the shotgun. Foster drops back, throws, and he overthrew his target. Oh, he had a man open, John Mills, down the sideline, and he overthrew him. And that'll bring up 4th down. It'll be 4th and 10 for the Vikings as their drive stalls out at the Patriot 40-yard line. Zach Young back to punt in his 8th year out of Kentucky. Young gets the punt away. And that's going to go out of bounds at the 25. Just a 15-yard punt. He had a chance to pin him deep. So New England will start their own 25 with 5:57 left here in the first half. Vikings up 7-0. The Vikings have been dominating this game so far, but they're only up 7-0. That was a missed opportunity by Minnesota right there. Let's see if the Patriots can capitalize now, going the other way. Led by their rookie quarterback, Peyton Thorne. Thorne under center. 1st and 10. Thorne, 3-step drop, throws, gets it out to Payne. That's Michael Payne, the tight end, in his 3rd year out of North Carolina State. A gain of 9 out to the 34-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 1. .540 left in the half. Patriots, they can tie it up on this drive if they can get something going here. 2nd and 1 from the 34-yard line. Thorne under center. Thorne, play action. Thorne gets sacked. Back at the 26, Andy Doris. A loss of 8 yards. Came around the outside, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9. The defensive end in his 12th year out of Wisconsin. He played for the Texans, and he played for the Packers for a while. Now he's on the Vikings. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for New England, back at their own 26-yard line. 5:10 and counting. Here in the first half, Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne fakes the handoff, throws down the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tony Brandon, the 9th-year receiver out of Notre Dame. He overthrew him. It'll be 4th down. The Patriots will have to punt. New England goes 3 and out on that drive. Frederick Strong into punt. Strong gets the punt away. It'll be fielded at about the 22 by Sammy White. And White around the outside, and White out to the 42-yard line. Not a bad return. And the Vikings have some pretty good field position now. Sammy White, the rookie out of Kentucky, the wide receiver. It'll be 1st and 10 Vikings at their own 42, up 7-0. 4:48 left here in the second quarter. And you're right, TMG. These Viking uniforms right here, this home set, some of their best ever. This is the Viking uniforms they wore in the 70s. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Foster hands off to Maffa, and Phil Maffa up the gut, and Maffa out to the 43-yard line. A gain of 15 yards into Patriot territory. The rookie out of Clemson, first down, Minnesota. And the Patriot uniforms we're seeing are from the late 60s, early 70s. Just so you know. I like these Patriot uniforms better with the old logo and everything. I mean, that helmet is classic for the Patriots. They should have never left that helmet. I always loved that helmet. I thought, you know, who they call that? Patriot Pat on the helmet there. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. In the offset eye. Foster takes the snap. Hands off to Maffa again. This time Maffa will be hit for a 1-yard loss. Jordan Turner, the rookie linebacker out of Michigan State, on the tackle. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Yeah, that was back in the 60s. And they changed that, I think it was around 1968 or so. 2nd and 11 from the 44-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side. Foster fakes the handoff, and it's a jailbreak by the Patriots. They get the sack. Be a loss of 6. Coming in, Danny Pendleton, the 6th-year defensive end out of Missouri. The Patriots brought the house, and they got the sack. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 17. The Viking road uniforms I use are from the late 60s and 70s. The uniforms the Vikings wore in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs and the Dolphins. 3rd and 17. Foster back. Foster throws. Caught by James. Rondé James down to the 24-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 27 yards. First down, Minnesota. On 3rd and 17. They get a huge gain. And the Vikings come through with a first down. And now with about 3 minutes left to play here in the first half, 1st and 10 Vikings at the Patriot 24-yard line. Vikings come out in the eye. Foster under center. Foster to Maffa around the outside, and Phil Maffa down to the 15, a gain of 9. And that'll bring up 2nd and 1. I think New England has, what, 1 first down the whole game so far? The Vikings are dominating, but they're only up 7-0. But they have it 2nd and 1 now at the 15. Trying to make it a 2-possession game going into halftime. On 2nd and 1. Foster throws outside to Maddox, and his momentum takes him out of bounds at the 17-yard line. It's going to be a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 2. That's John Maddox, the tight end. He caught the touchdown a few minutes ago. That'll stop the clock with 2:22 left here in the first half. 3rd and 2 for the Vikings now at the Patriots 17. In the I formation. Foster under center. Foster to Phillips. And Phillips does not get the first down. He's close. You got to give him a yard. It'll be 4th and 1. That's for Shard Phillips in his 4th year out of San Diego State. 2-minute warning. Vikings up 7-0 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. 2 minutes left in the first half. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Vikings at the Patriot 15. Minnesota will probably just kick the field goal. This will be a 32-yard attempt by Randy Lloyd to make it a 2-score game. I think it's a smart move. Get the points while you can. Lloyd from 32. Snap, kick is up. And the kick is good. Vikings lead it 10-0. 1:57 left to play here in the first half. Here at U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Week 11 here at Jammin' Sports. The 4-6 Patriots, the 5-5 Vikings. Who do they play next week? I will let you know right now. Minnesota will play at Arizona next week. And the Patriots will host the Jets. Going to be an easy game for the Vikings, at least on paper. Tough game for the Patriots, as the Jets have the best record in the league at 10-1. And now Randy Lloyd will kick off. From the goal line, Stafford brings it back over the 15-20. Cody Stafford out to the 29-yard line, the third-year receiver out of Virginia. And the Patriots will take over with 1:52 left to play here in the first half, down 10-0. Can the Patriots make it a 1-score game before halftime? They have all 3 of their timeouts. Got a decent crowd here watching on this Wednesday night. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Jimmy Jam with TMG here tonight. As TMG week comes to a close, his vacation ends today. He goes back to work tomorrow. 1st and 10 from the 29. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws. Caught by Woods. And makes a nice move. Darren Woods out to the 45-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 16 yards. 26 yards, I'm sorry. Thorne in the shotgun. 1st and 10. Thorne looking. Throws. Caught by Brandon. And Tony Brandon out to the 48. A gain of 3. Patriots stay in the hurry up. 2nd and 6 from their own 48. Thorne in the shotgun. 4 wide. Thorne back. Thorne looking. Thorne throws. Caught by Dickens. Out of the backfield. And Chris Dickens out to the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 14 yards. We have an injury timeout as Dickens is shaken up. That'll cost the Patriots a timeout. He'll be back on Tuesday of next week. In the meantime, TMG, he keeps up with us by watching the games after the fact on YouTube. All the games get saved to YouTube, archived on YouTube. We've got 10 seasons worth of football on YouTube. There's a lot of games on YouTube. Go back and watch all the past games for the past 10 seasons that we've been on Twitch. This is our 10th season on Twitch. We started with Sim Season 26. This is 35, so if you inclusive, it's 10. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. 4 wide. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne looking. Throws. Caught by Brandon. And Tony Brandon down to the 30-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 8. That'll bring up 2nd and 2. In the Patriots on the edge of field goal range. And they take a timeout. They have 1 left. That's their second timeout with 1:01 remaining here in the first half. Patriots trying to get on the board right before halftime. Vikings up 10-0. New England does get the second half kickoff. Gracie's here, but Evil Dead, he's not here. He's playing pinball. Give me that pouty face. She gave me a pouty face. 2nd and 2 from the 30-yard line. Say hi, Gracie.
Hi.
There you go. 2nd and 2 from the 30-yard line. 4 receivers set wide. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Throws outside. Caught by Michael Payne. Out to the 24, gain of 6. And that'll be a New England first down. Clock is moving. We're down to 46 seconds. Ty Martin on the tackle. The Patriots holding on to that final timeout, as they tend to do. Tomorrow night and Friday night and Saturday, I have baseball on the radio. So this could be the last games until Sunday. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws. Caught by Stafford. No, incomplete. That was broken up by Alex Woodson, the 4th-year defensive back out of Miami. And that'll stop the clock with 29 seconds left in the half and bring up 2nd and 10. Now then, weather is a factor, though. The games could get rained out tomorrow and Friday, and if they are, I'll be here. And Saturday as well. 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws outside, caught by Brown. He had to come back for it. And Brown down to the 23 after all that, a gain of a yard. Antonio Brown out of the backfield making the catch. The 2nd-year back out of West Virginia. And let's see. It'll be 3rd and 9, 11 seconds left. Let's see if the Patriots take a shot. They're going to have to line up quickly. They still have a timeout. In Madden 19, the clock doesn't run during replays. The other Maddens it does, 21 through 25, which is a pain in the butt. Patriots take a timeout with 10 seconds left. Their final timeout. Do they take a shot at the end zone, or do they just kick the field goal? It'd be a 40-yard field goal if they're going to try it. Mark Brown in his 6th year out of Kansas State. Do they take a shot? If they do, it has to be quick. And it has to be to the end zone. They have no timeouts. They're going to kick the field goal. Mark Brown from 40 to get the Patriots on the board. Snap, kick is up. And the kick is good. Just inside the left upright. So the Patriots get on the board. The Vikings up 10-3 with 7 seconds left here in the half. So the Patriots will have to kick off. Live from U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Week 11 here at Jammin' Sports. We have the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs coming up next. It'll be the second half of our doubleheader. We'll be at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City for that one. And I'm not going to lie, those two teams are struggling. And now the kickoff by Frederick Strong. From the 3-yard line, Sammy White over the 15, 20, 25, and White brings it out to the 30-yard line. 2 seconds left. Sammy White, the rookie out of Kentucky. And the Vikings up 10-3. They might just take a knee, go to halftime. Let's see what they do here. And, well, they're going to run a play. They got 3 receivers to the near side. Foster in the shotgun. Foster draws back. Foster throws into a crowd, bouncing around, incomplete. We go to halftime. Halftime score, the Vikings 10, the Patriots 3, here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Week number 11 here at Jammin' Sports. The Patriots who come in at 4-6, the Vikings at 5-5. As we get ready to start the third quarter, Minnesota leads it by a score of 10-3. If the Vikings hold on to win, they will tie the Packers for first place at 6-5 in the NFC Central. However, the Vikings have defeated the Packers twice this season already. So the Vikings hold the tiebreaker. So that would put them in first place. Patriots get the second half kickoff, though, down by 7. There's the kick. From the 3-yard line, Stafford over the 10, 15, 20. Cody Stafford out to the 28-yard line, the third-year receiver out of Virginia. And that's where the Patriots will set up shop, led by their rookie quarterback, Peyton Thorne, the rookie out of Auburn from College Football 25. You might remember him if you've ever played the Auburn Tigers on that game. TMG, did you ever get to see any of the college season we did from August through December? There were some wild games. 1st and 10 from the 28. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne to Brown, and Brown, a big gain across the 40, out to the 42-yard line, 14 yards. Antonio Brown in his second year out of West Virginia. And that'll be first down, New England. We ran a college football sim season. We played the games primarily on Saturday. We had a few games the other time, but Saturdays we would run about 10 to 12 games in a row. Yeah, OSU won it. Yep. Yeah, just like in real life. They defeated Georgia in my national championship, if you remember. 1st and 10 from the 42. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne pump fakes, throws, and he overthrows his intended receiver. Looking for Michael Payne. It'll be 2nd and 10. Yeah, it was fun during the college football season. It was just time consuming. My goodness. We'd be on 12 to 14 hours every Saturday. Yeah, the Huskies went 0-12. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. Thorne looking. Thorne throws, caught by Brandon. And Tony Brandon out to the 49. And that'll be a gain of 9. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Tony Brandon in his 9th year out of Notre Dame. Yeah, they're the only team in my sim season that went 0-12. 3rd and 1 from the 49-yard line. Patriots come out in the offset eye. Thorne, play action. Thorne steps up, rolls out, dumps it off to Michael Payne, out to the 44-yard line. And that will be a gain of 5 yards and a Patriot first down in Viking territory. On the tackle, number 96, Larry Lofton, the 4th-year defensive end out of Illinois. During that college season, the biggest surprise was Nebraska. They were in the Final Four. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws. Caught. No, incomplete. Broken up by Montel Monroe, the 9th-year safety out of Florida State. Looking for Tony Brandon. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. 6:19 left to play here in the third quarter. Vikings lead at 10-3. Oh, yeah. We hate Penn State even more, though. 2nd and 10 from the 44, 4 wide. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne to Brown. And Antonio Brown, 3 yards out to the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. Stan King on the tackle. Do you remember what my Final Four was? Obviously, it was Georgia and Ohio State. They played in the championship. But it was Clemson and Nebraska. 3rd and 7 from the 41-yard line, 4 wide. Thorne back. Thorne throws, caught by Brown. Out to the 32, a gain of 9. Barry Brown, the rookie tight end out of USC. And that'll be another Patriot first down. This has been a nice drive by New England to start the second half. 5:35 and counting. The Vikings have yet to touch the ball here in the third quarter. Patriots trying to tie this one up. 4 wide for New England. Thorne under center. Thorne to Holmes. And Holmes, James Holmes, will lose a yard back to the 34-yard line. Montel Monroe came up and made the tackle. In his 9th year out of Florida State, the safety. Yeah, that's true. 2nd and 11. Patriots at the Viking 34-yard line. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. In the offset eye. Thorne, play action, rolls out and dumps it off to Michael Payne. And Payne down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 4. We have an injury timeout on the Vikings. A gain of 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8 at the Viking 30-yard line. 4:49 left. Well, at least the Ohio State-Michigan game didn't have a fight like in real life. Players today don't have sportsmanship. They really don't. 3rd and 8 from the 30-yard line. 5 wide for the Patriots. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws outside, caught by Darren Woods. Down to the 23, he's going to be shy of the first down. Making the tackle, number 20, Jeremy Bell, in his 8th year out of Alabama. Makes the tackle before they can get the first down. That was Darren Woods, the 8th year receiver out of Michigan. And now it's 4th down. Patriots have a decision to make with 4.5 minutes and counting. They're going to go for the field goal. Mark Brown, this will be from 40 yards. Snap, kick is up. And the kick is good. He nailed it. The Vikings still lead it, though, 10-6 with 4:15 left here in the third quarter. Live from US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Week 11 here at Jammin' Sports. It's just bad sportsmanship. There's no need for that. You don't need to be disrespecting your opponents. Without your opponent, you wouldn't have a game. Frederick Strong will kick off for the Patriots. There's the kick. From the 1-yard line, Sammy White out over the 20, 25, and White out to the 29-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will take over with 4:11 left here in the third quarter, up by 4. A chance for the Vikings to make it a 2-possession game if they get a touchdown on this drive. Well, it shows that you have no class. It shows that you're immature. First and 10, Vikings at their own 29. Don't forget we have the Texans and the Chiefs coming up next. 5 wide, Foster in the shotgun, empty backfield on 1st and 10. Foster looking, throws near side, caught by Mills. And John Mills to the 37, a gain of 8. And that'll bring up 2nd and 2. Vikings have a pretty good receiving corps with Rondé James and John Mills. We haven't seen Jace Norton, the other receiver. He has yet to catch one. 2nd and 2 for the Vikings. They come out in the I at their own 37-yard line. Foster to Maffa, and Phil Maffa picks up the first down out to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6. First down, Vikings. Yeah. It's that mob mentality, though. That's hard to stop. Well, there's a way to stop it. And they're starting to do it in some of these conferences. Like, they fined the school. They fined Vanderbilt a couple of months ago like $500,000. Foster, 1st and 10, throws, and Simpson can't hold on. Jay Simpson, the 5th-year fullback out of UNLV, didn't hold on. It'll be 2nd and 10. Once you start finding the schools, they'll find a way to stop that. I don't think it was 500,000. I think it was 100,000, but it's still a lot. They stormed the court over a victory over Kentucky, I think it was. It was back in January. 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line. 4 wide for Minnesota. Foster under center. Foster to Maffa around the outside. And Maffa picks up a yard out to the 44. Actually, now they say no gain. It'll be 3rd and 10. Jordan Turner, the linebacker, came up and made the tackle. The rookie out of Michigan State. Under 3 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Vikings up 10-6. This has turned into a defensive game. 4 wide on 3rd and 10. Foster in the shotgun. Foster drops back. Foster throws. Caught by James. Out to the 43-yard line. 13 yards to Rondé James. Into Patriot territory, and that's going to be a Viking first down. Vikings convert on 3rd and 10. McLean made the tackle. Thomas McLean, the rookie out of South Carolina State, defensive back. 1st and 10, Minnesota at the Patriot 43. Foster in the shotgun. Foster to Maffa again, and Maffa will lose a yard back to the 44-yard line. Coming up to make the tackle is Parker Littleton, the 7th-year linebacker out of Indiana. Littleton, the former Bear, the former Raider. He spent 4 years with the Bears, 2 years with the Raiders, and now he's in his first season with New England. 2nd and 11 from the 44-yard line of the Patriots as we're coming up on 2 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Foster in the shotgun. Foster looking. Foster throws. Caught by Norton. His ears must have been burning. It'll be a first down. 14 yards down to the 30-yard line. Jace Norton, the 3rd-year receiver out of Marshall. Caitlin Clark got a raw deal from the WNBA. Women are so petty. They really are. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. They couldn't realize she was good for the league. Ran her out. 1st and 10. Foster looking. Foster throws to Phillips. And Phillips down to the 16-yard line. A gain of 14 yards. Rashard Phillips, 4th year back out of San Diego State. Evil Dead says Caitlin Clark is a girl. She's not a girl. Vikings on the move. Trying to make it a 2-score lead. They lead it over the Patriots 10-6. Vikings were up 10-0. They've let the Patriots score a couple of field goals. I got you, Evil Dead. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. No, she's over in Europe. We're going to play in Europe. 1st and 10. Foster to Phillips. He gets hit in the backfield. Back at the 19-yard line. Could be a loss of 4 yards. And that's the tackle made by the other Martin. This one for the Patriots. Looking for him on my roster. Number 76. Ryan Martin, the 7th-year defensive end out of Minnesota. Down to 45 seconds left in the third quarter. 2nd and 14 for the Vikings at the Patriot 19-yard line. 4 wide. Foster under center. Foster, watch out. He gets sacked and fumbles. Patriots scrambling for it, and they get it. Foster coughs it up. And the Patriots pounce on it. Number 56, Parker Littleton on the sack. And Littleton gets up and recovers the fumble. Oh boy, just when you thought the Vikings were going to extend their lead, they've given the Patriots a chance now to take the lead. It'll be 1st and 10, New England going the other way. Patriots will have it at their own 38-yard line following the fumble recovery with 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Vikings are letting an opportunity slip away here if they don't assert themselves. Thorne under center, 1st and 10. Hands off to Holmes. And Holmes driving forward out to the 41-yard line, a gain of 3. James Holmes, the rookie out of Akron. Make it a 4-yard gain. And we're down to 15 seconds. That might be the last play of the quarter. It'll be 2nd and 6 for New England at their own 41-yard line. 4 receivers set wide. They get the snap. Thorne looking. Thorne throws. Caught by Woods. No. At the end of 3, Vikings up 10-6 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We go to the fourth quarter. Minnesota leads New England 10-6 in what has been a low-scoring defensive game. Patriots at 4-6, trying to get back in the AFC playoff race, and the Vikings at 5-5, trying to slide into the lead in the NFC Central if they can get the win today. 3 receivers to the far side on 3rd and 6. Thorne in the shotgun for New England. Thorne back. Thorne rolls out, throws deep, and he overthrows his receiver. Incomplete. He was looking for Antonio Brown out of the backfield. It'll be 4th down. The Patriots will have to punt. So New England does not capitalize off the turnover. Frederick Strong into punt. Gets the punt away. And it will fall inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchback. Almost. And now Minnesota will have it 1st and 10. At their own 20-yard line, up 10-6. Jay Foster comes back out. 4th-year quarterback out of Michigan. Jimmy Jam with TMG. Evil Dead was here a moment ago. He's popping in and out. He's doing pinball tonight. First and 10 Vikings. Foster in the shotgun. Sigel back. Foster hands off to Maffa. And Phil Maffa up the middle. And Maffa, one-man debate. Maffa finally gets taken down at the 46-yard line. A 34-yard run by Phil Maffa that puts him right at 100 yards on the day. And the Vikings have it at the Patriot 46-yard line. He nearly broke it. In fact, I thought he was going to. Pat Chadwick saved the touchdown, the safety. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. At the Patriot 46, they come out in the eye. Tamafa again, right up the middle. 5 yards to the 41-yard line. Make it a 6-yard gain. It'd be 2nd and 4. Parker Littleton on the tackle for New England. Coming up on 7 minutes left to play. We're in the 4th quarter. Vikings up by 4. Foster in the shotgun. 2nd down. Foster to Maffa again. And Maffa making a spin move. Oh, had he not stumbled, I think he would have gotten a lot more. A gain of a yard out to the 40-yard line. Ryan Martin will get credit for the tackle. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Vikings at the Patriot 40-yard line. Big 3rd down here. 5 wide, empty backfield. Foster in the shotgun. Foster drops back, throws, coming across to Underwood, turns upfield and gets the 1st down. Lawson Underwood, his first catch of the day. Good for 9 yards and a Viking 1st down. The 10th year tight end out of Iowa. And Littleton again on the tackle for New England. Lawson Underwood, one of the better tight ends in the league. I would put him in the top 5. He's that good. 1st and 10 for the Vikings now at the Patriot 31-yard line. 4 wide for the Vikings. Foster in the shotgun. Foster fakes the handoff, throws deep, and it's incomplete, but we're going to have pass interference on New England. Jace Norton was interfered with.
Pass interference, defense.
They're going to charge that to Arthur Randall, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line since it happened in the end zone. That'll put the ball at the 1, 1st and goal. Great chance now for the Vikings to cash in. 5:45 left to play. Vikings come out. Foster under center. Foster drops back, throws, caught by Maddox. Touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown catch by John Maddox, the tight end, his second touchdown of the day, the rookie out of Michigan. And the Vikings go up by 10, 16-6. Yeah, it was too easy. Well, that pass interference helped out greatly. And now the extra point by Randy Lloyd. Kick is up and good. And the Vikings lead by 11, 17-6. A 2-possession game with 5:43 left. That drive was definitely aided by the pass interference call. Once again, next week, the Patriots will host the Jets, and the Vikings next week at Arizona. We have the Texans and the Chiefs up next. We'll head out to Arrowhead Stadium for that one. And now Randy Lloyd will kick off. From the 2-yard line, Cody Stafford over the 15, 20, 25. And Stafford gets taken down finally at the 29-yard line. So the Patriots down by 2 scores with 5:37 left. Rookie quarterback Peyton Thorne will come back out. If the Patriots lose, they're going to be 4-7. And that's going to be a rough row to hoe there for the Patriots if they're going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win their division. The Jets are running away with that. But that wild card is now slipping out of their grasp as well. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Patriots come out. Thorne in the shotgun with a back on either side. Thorne looking. Thorne throws near side. Caught by Dickens down the sideline. And Chris Dickens 11 yards out to the 40-yard line, and that'll be a Patriot first down. Meanwhile, the clock is moving. 5:22 and counting. Vikings up 17-6. By virtue of the tiebreakers, the Vikings, if they win, they'll be in first place in the NFC Central. I know they used to make one, but I've never seen it, though. I've never seen it played. 5 wide, 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Empty backfield for Thorne. Thorne back. Thorne looking. Thorne rolls out. Throws near side. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Arena football is one of those leagues that they just can't seem to keep together very long. Teams fold left and right. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. 5 wide. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne looking. Thorne throws. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10. The intended receiver, Taylor Scott, 4th-year tight end out of Central Florida. 4:59 left. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Patriots at their own 40-yard line. 4 wide. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws deep, and it's incomplete. He was off target, looking for Darren Woods. It'll be 4th down. And with the Patriots down by 11, with 4:55 left, I bet you they go for it here. Yep, they're going to go for it. Yeah, you're right. Mismanaged. 4th and 10 from the 40-yard line. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne in trouble, and he gets sacked back at the 32-yard line by Andy Doris. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Vikings will take over at the Patriot 32-yard line. Where's Evil Davis? When you need him, the Patriots are losing. Andy Doris in his 12th year out of Wisconsin, the defensive end, on the sack. It'll be 1st and 10, Minnesota. They'll have it at the Patriot 32-yard line, up 17-6. A chance to put the nail in the coffin here for the Vikings. If they get a touchdown, it's a 3-possession game. 4 wide for Minnesota. Foster in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Foster drops back. Foster throws near side. Caught by Maffa. And Maffa down to about the 7-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. They'll mark him down to 26. Jordan Turner on the tackle. Yeah, Davis would be having a fit right now, is right. I don't know what the sky color is in the world he lives in, but Patriots are not good. 2nd and 5 from the 26. Foster drops back. Foster throws. Caught by Underwood. No, incomplete. That was broken up by Parker Littleton, the linebacker. Incomplete. Looking for the big tight end. It'll be 3rd and 5, Minnesota, at the Patriot 26-yard line. 4:17 left. Texans Chiefs up next. 4 wide, single back on 3rd and 5. Foster in the shotgun. Foster back. Foster steps up. He's going to take off. Gets the first round down. Easy for me to say. Down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 21. 21-yard run on the scramble by Jay Foster. It'll be 1st and goal Vikings at the 5-yard line. I got tongue-tied on that one. Jordan Turner on the tackle, the linebacker. Vikings now, they can put this one away. Under 4 minutes left. First and goal from the Patriot 5. In the offset eye. Foster under center. Foster to Maffa up the middle. Touchdown, Vikings. A 5-yard touchdown run by Phil Maffa. And the fat lady is chewing on a lozenge, ready to go. Vikings are up by 17 now, 23-6, a 3-score game. With the extra point to come. Randy Lloyd for the extra point. Snap, kick is up, and it's good. The Vikings lead at 24-6 with 3:43 left to play. Here at U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Week 11 here at Jammin' Sports. The Vikings about to be 6-5, about to be tied with the Packers atop the NFC Central. But Minnesota has beaten Green Bay twice this season. Both were 3-point wins, by the way. The first one in overtime. And the second one last week in Green Bay on a last-second field goal. And now Randy Lloyd will kick off for the Vikings. From the goal line, Stafford over the 15-20. And Cody Stafford still on his feet, out to the 29. And that's where the Patriots will have it. Down by 18 with 3:38 left. Patriots offense comes back out. New England's going to drop to 4-7. Not eliminated yet, but it's going to be hard to recover at 4-7. Just 5 weeks left of the season after this. They would have to run the table and get to 9-7 and take their chances. First and 10 from the 29. 5 wide for the Patriots. Thorne in the shotgun. Empty backfield. Thorne draws back. Thorne throws outside to Michael Payne, the tight end, out to the 37. A gain of 8 yards. Ty Martin, the linebacker, on the tackle. And that'll bring up 2nd and 2. He was tackled inbounds. The clock is running. 3:22 and counting. On 2nd and 2 from their own 37. Thorne in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Thorne rolls out. And Thorne squares up and throws downfield and nearly picked off by Ty Martin. I don't think Thorne saw him there. Martin's thinking, man, I should have caught that. Michael Payne, the tight end, was the intended receiver. But Ty Martin was right there. Oh, he should have had that. That would have ended the game right there. 3:01 left. 3rd and 2 for the Patriots at their own 37-yard line. Down by 18. 5 wide. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Throws near side. Caught by Scott. And Taylor Scott out to the 50. A gain of 13. 4th-year tight end out of Central Florida. First down, New England. 2:47 left. Clock is moving. We'll have the 2-minute warning here soon. First and 10 from the 50-yard line. 5 wide for the Patriots. Thorne in the shotgun. First and 10. Thorne looking. Thorne throws. Caught by Scott. And Taylor Scott down to the 42-yard line. A gain of 8. And that'll bring up 2nd and 2, but the clock is still moving. Ty Martin made the tackle. He's been everywhere for the Vikings here today. They should be able to get the playoff in time, I would think, here. 2nd and 2 from the 42-yard line. Thorne takes the snap. Throws, caught by Brandon. Down to the 28-yard line. A gain of 14. 2-minute warning. Vikings up 24-6 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The final 2 minutes of this one. Vikings lead at 24-6. First and 10, New England at the Viking 28. Thorne in the shotgun with a back on either side. Thorne looking. Thorne rolls out, throws, dumps it off to Brown. He gains just a yard to the 27, if that much. It'll be 2nd and 10. Antonio Brown. Patriots in the hurry up. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne back. Throws to Brown out of the backfield. Antonio Brown out to the 20. That'll be a gain of 8. It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Patriots. A minute and a half left. Thorne looking. Throws outside. Caught by Brown. And Antonio Brown down to the 14. A gain of 6. Patriots stay in the hurry up. 1st and 10 for the Viking 14-yard line. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne draws back. Thorne in trouble. Throws. Caught by Brown again. That's 3 straight to Brown. As Brown gets down to the 6. A gain of 8. They stay in the hurry up. It'll be 2nd and 1. A gain of 9, actually. Down to a minute. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne back. Thorne throws to Brown again. But it's incomplete. Ty Martin breaks it up. And that'll bring up 3rd and 1 from the 6-yard line. 54 seconds left. That was 4 straight passes to Antonio Brown. You might want to try another receiver. Vikings are going to figure you out. 3rd and 1 from the 6. Thorne in the shotgun. Thorne back. Thorne looking, rolls out. Thorne throws back in the end zone, incomplete. 47 seconds left. It'll be 4th down, 4th and 1. He was looking for Taylor Scott. Threw it too far. And now on 4th down, the Vikings, or the Patriots, have to go for it. At the Viking 6. They come out in the I formation, 4th and 1. Thorne hands off to Holmes, and he does not get there. Jim Florence, the linebacker, on the tackle in his 8th year out of Wake Forest. It'll be a turnover on downs. Patriots come up empty. And with it being an 18-point lead, I don't think New England's going to call a timeout. The Vikings are going to win, and they'll be in first place in the NFC Central. Great win for Minnesota. They'll be 6-5. Patriots will drop to 4-7. As the Vikings will take over now. With 43 seconds left to play. We'll head to Arrowhead after this. Texans and Chiefs. Foster on 1st and 10 to Maffa. And Maffa to the 7-yard line, a gain of a yard. One more snap and this one's done. They don't even have to snap it if they don't want to. The final seconds will tick away. Well, one more play to get it to Maffa. And Maffa gets a few extra yardage. Now that's ball game. Your final score, Minnesota 24, New England 6. Thanks for watching here at Jammin' Sports. Houston and Kansas City up next. We'll see you then.